With our walls secured, biters biting, and power production fully set up, it's time to move on to the next part of the game, winning it. We have 2 more science packs we need to automate before we can make the rocket silo, the yellow utility science and the purple production science. To research the rocket silo and finish the game, we need 1600 purple science and 1300 yellow science. For this reason, I'm building yellow and purple science at only 15 science per minute, as any higher would be unnecessary. Because our old lab setup could only handle 4 sciences, I rebuilt it so it can handle up to 6. Because our yellow and purple science production is going to be so low, I build a buffer so even while we aren't researching it continues to produce. I'm starting to run out of copper on my main bus, but instead of trying to fit another lane through the spaghetti, I had a train stop further down and add the copper on halfway down the bus. With that sorted, I start setting up purple science. Again, I'm only aiming 15 science per minute here. It's time now for me to start preparing materials for the rocket silo. If I use 4 productivity module 3s in the silo, I'll only need about 750 rocket fuel to launch a rocket. That's about 1.5 steel chests of rocket fuel. Along with collecting spare LGS and blue chips from yellow science production, I should have enough parts for the rocket before the silo's even finished researching. You might have noticed me building some higher level modules in the background. This is what it's been for. With this power armor I should be more easily able to go out and clear bite nests. Before that, however, I build this supplemental blue chip production, as it's used in a lot of the personal equipment we need. These portable fusion reactors are a game changer. They produce the same amount of power as 25 solar panels, but only take up 16 solar panels worth of space, and can even produce at night. It's time to take this for a spin. Due to power armor's 70% resistance to acid, the only thing that can really touch us is biters, and they quickly get picked off by the reachers by the laser defences. This is as good a time as any to talk about my opinion of this mod. To begin with, I think the concept of multiple different biter factions is absolutely incredible. It really varies defensive and offensive play and forces you to use more than just flamethrower turrets on the walls. I also think the AI is incredible, and I really wish that the biters in the base game expanded in the same way they do in this mod. It leads to really interesting situations such as this, where this siege has literally been building up for 20 hours at this point. There are downsides, however. I really feel at this point in the game I shouldn't be able to tear through nests quite as easily, even with my power armour. Also, for a mod initially all about the AI, I haven't really noticed a difference in the way the biters attack, only the way they expand. Overall though, this has been a really different and interesting experience, and I would definitely play it again. But if I did, I'd probably use the Death World preset instead of default, because I feel like I had way too much time to set up before I actually got bothered by the biters. Enough of me talking though, I'll let you get back to the carnage. And just like that, that massive siege which has been there since the start of the game is gone. I might almost miss it. While out in the field down south, the rocket silo research finally completes. I place it down near our yellow science production and put in the 4 prod 3 modules I made earlier. I set up these assemblers to hand feed rocket control units. I probably should have automated them, but I was starting to get a bit bored and just wanted to finish the game at this point. While I was waiting for things to craft, I went back out in the field to kill more biters, and I found a new type of biter had spawned. These are poison biters and leave these green clouds when they die, which I have very little resistance to. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. I put my car in the rocket cargo and hopped in. I can now proudly say I've beaten the Rampant mod, however this isn't the end of the video yet. I want to play around with Spidertrons at some point, however it takes 2,500 signs to research them. At my current rate of production that would take almost 2 hours, so I'm only allowing labs with productivity module 3s in them to take science at the moment. Even that only shaves about 10 minutes off, unfortunately. After a lot of waiting and fixing train deadlocks, it finally finishes and we can have a bit of fun. Feeling wise, getting the first Spidertron of a playthrough is right up there with getting bots for the first time. Before we can really use the Spidertron in combat, I built this explosive rocket factory to provide it ammo. We set up its equipment similar to my own and provide it rockets using the robot logistics network. Here's the first test run. The Spidertron's armour is actually weaker than my own, so I run in first and task it to follow me. Even despite that, it still takes a lot of damage. The only answer to this is, of course, more firepower. And even more firepower. With these 3 in tow, I basically have a firepower of 12 people. The biters never really stood a chance. Despite my efforts, these nests will only come back in time. The shadowy outlines of nests you can see dotted around are what I believe to be nests expanding naturally within the bases. That is part of how these rampant bases can grow to be so large. As this playthrough comes to a close, there's one last thing I wanted to do. Using a command, I set evolution to 99% so we can see how long this base will last. Now all nests produce 100% tier 10 biters. This is this mod's version of the behemoth, called Leviathans. As you can see, they are slowly chipping away at our walls and it's not long before they'll break through. I take the Spidertrons out for a spin, but as you can see, the biters are a lot more resistant to them now. To further increase the threat, I use a command to release 1 billion pollution over my head. This is more than even a mega base would produce in a day. You can see its effect already, a massive expanding perfect circle of pollution around my base. This is its effect as it expands out over the lake to the west of my base. Massive attacks start rolling in. This little choke point is probably the weakest part of my entire defence. Even despite that, it's probably going to take them a couple of attempts to get in. It doesn't take long, however, before another one comes. This is the beginning of the end. I position a Spidertron so even if the power goes out I can keep eyes on this choke point. I also put one in the lake near my nuclear power plant because I really want to see it blow when they reach it. Because of that command I used to add pollution, thousands of biters are spawning all over the map. That's far too much computation for my dinky little computer, so only some of them are actually moving at any given time, and the rest of them stand frozen like this. At that choke point in the northeast, however, the big one finally breaks through. I set the inserters to deliver as much fuel as possible into the nuclear power plant. This ensures that when they get destroyed, they'll melt down instead of just disappearing. This is where all my UPS went. After all this, I suppose all that's left is to enter into the swarm.